Hello, hello, everybody out there in Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you're at right now. This is Barbara Beckley, the Diamond Factor LLC personal development mentor. And this is the Diamond Spotlight interview. Today, I'm just always amazed at the people that are in this world because there's so many diamonds, and I have a queen diamond today. I'm so excited. So let me get to my little intro because I want to save all this time for her. This is the wonderful, fabulous, tremendous Donna Smith Bellinger. Hopefully I said her name right. I told her I'm name challenged. Now this woman, I could just say a few words, but I'm just going to say et cetera, after I say some of the words about her. She is a business owner achiever. She's cash flow. I know her mantra is Donna ties to monetize. I love that. When I seen that, I said, that's so cute. Leadership coach, speaker, author. She's been radio, she's been TV, she's been everywhere. So, and we're doing this early in the morning. So I'm getting her at a good time because she's such a busy woman. I said, you know what, Donna, I will take the time out. Whatever your time, just fit me in. And she did. So Donna, I just want to, first of all, thank you so much for fitting me in, putting me in your schedule so we can have this awesome spotlight interview with you. So how you doing this morning?
Oh, you know me. I'm a morning person. So
I know.
It makes people nuts. And it kind of messes with my day in a little bit. I had to train myself to just do internet-based work when I first get up because so many people now are connected to their cell phones. It used to be you could get up at 5 or 6 in the morning and get your voicemails out of the way.
Yeah.
But now you can't because you'll be ringing somebody's cell phone and they won't like you very much. So I have to do all the email, the LinkedIn, all that other stuff,
that good stuff
when I get up. But that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
And I am so thankful to you and to your platform for inviting me and also for the work that you're doing. I think this is just fabulous to give people this opportunity because, it doesn't matter how brilliant you are if nobody knows that you're there, which is one of the give back talks, and we can talk about give back talks, but one of the give back talks that I do is helping people to learn to communicate their brilliance more effectively.
Yes.
So that they can be heard. Because there's a lot of untapped talent out there. And that talent is untapped because, oh Lord, I'm getting ready to get into my thing. Let me stop. You go ahead.
But this is about you, so you're doing well.
Okay, so people, here's where I stand. I have got over 40 years in sales and marketing.
Wow.
And I know I clean up well. And so what it looks like is so many of you are so very brilliant at what you do, but you come in and you put your head down and you do what you're doing, and then you get up and you go. Or even worse, you're tainted by the people who are not as brilliant as you, trying to connect with them so that your reputation or your brand is judged by the company that you keep.
Wow.
And then you wonder why people look over you. They never hire me for this. They never promote me for that. I could have done that assignment better. Yeah. But if you're not communicating to the people who can make a difference in your life or in your career, and if you're not communicating with people who can pour into you, because maybe you don't know where they are, and that's okay. We can talk about that. And B, you don't let them know that you're in need. You let that ego thing get in there. And even today, even though I know a lot and I know a lot of people, I still come in with this low level thing because I can learn something from everybody. And you never know where the creator's going to put that little bit of wisdom in for you. So you have to learn to listen intently. And then I am just having a tear day today. And then you have to be able to speak the language of the person that you're addressing. And so that's part of why I do the sales thing that I do, because sales, from that first conversation, Mommy, can I stay up an extra half an hour today? Kind of a thing. That was one of your first sales pitches. Okay? No, because if you let me do that, then this and then that. And you all get sold every day by your kids, nieces, nephews, cousins, whatever.
That's so true. I just thought about that, Donna. It did start when we were younger. And we didn't even realize it.
No, and then you lost it.
Yeah.
You know, just like you lose the tenacity that you had as a child, because if you tried something when you were a kid and it didn't work, you kept doing it until you got it.
Yeah.
Even if your little friends were laughing at you and stuff, you were like, no, I can do it. No. Wait. Wait. And so you didn't care.
You taking me back, Donna. You taking me back. I'm telling you. I'm just thinking about double dutch right now. I was like, I can do it. I sat there and fell down and busted my kneecap, everything, and I was still trying.
Wait. I can do it. No, I can do it. And
keep turning.
And the guys, it's like, you know, if they fumbled a ball or whatever, they were like, come on, go back out for another pass or go back and run some laps, whatever it was. But you did it until you got it.
Yeah.
You lose that.
Yeah.
As you begin to get complacent. Yeah. And you get to what I call moving into the land of settle. You know, where you settle for what you have. You don't want to put in that extra effort. But here's what you need to understand. You may think, well, I'm not going to kill myself to make these people any more money. That's not what you're doing, okay? You're building your personal brand.
Yes.
I cannot believe how my eyes are tearing this morning. Oh, y'all need to know that I don't cry like this. Well, I'm leaking. I'm not crying. That's the thing I need to say. I'm just leaking. I'm not crying. I haven't had coffee. So my body is in mourning.
Uh-oh.
It's okay.
Uh-oh.
It's quite all right. And I'm going to tilt this light just a little bit. I think that'll help. Okay. So anyway, when you are at work and you are learning and you're doing all of these different things, you're building your brand because you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching.
Never know.
And you never know when that stuff is going to come back and be a touch of brilliance.
Yes.
From way back in the day. My father passed about 35 years ago. And he gets smarter every single day. Some little something that he said, something he drugged me to, something that he gets smarter every single day. So always be learning. Always be learning. Yes. And when you go someplace, this is just from me to you, stop trying to be the smartest person in the room.
Thank you.
Okay?
Repeat that, please.
Stop trying to be the smartest person in the room. If you are the smartest person in the room, you need a new room.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I like that.
Yeah. If you're the smartest person in the room, you need a new room because you're not going to learn anything. And unless you happen to be pitching your ideal client and there's a room full of them, then, and that's so doubtful, I don't care how big the room is, then you want to learn something from someone in that room.
Yes.
And then when you speak, you want it to have a purpose.
Yes.
I'm going to breathe now.
Well, Donna, I love how you just have, I'm just like writing these notes as you're coming out with this wisdom. So the wonderful thing that I like what you said is just going back to the room. Not, that if you feel like you're the smartest person in the room, then you need another room to be in. Or, like you said, listen. And I always tell people this, listening is the key. just listen, because you never know what you're going to pick up, what you're going to absorb to help you and guide you in whatever you're trying to do. Because I always believe everybody, either if it's right or wrong, you're learning something. If it's something good and positive, wonderful. If it's something negative, I always think people look at me and say, "Why are you crazy? It's negative." I said, "No, because you learn what not to do." So if you see people that are doing something negative or just out of whatever, and you're like, "Oh my God, why did it?" You know, okay, well, maybe I need to look at that and say, that's something I'm going to put on my little to-do list of not to do, not to-do list. So you're always going to be learning from anybody. And I love how you put that. Now, Donna, I want to hear about that. I know you said a little bit about it, but get into your, why did you start? Because I know you're a speaker, you're an author. I mean, you do so many, you're just everywhere. You just like a triple threat, or even more than that. So why did you, I mean, you have so much that you do. So what is your, like, why did you start where you started? And what do what is your business?
Okay. First of all, I want to remind your listeners that if you have an idea, remember that your idea is going to grow just like you did from the little infant into the person that you are now. And a lot of times when you fall down or you misstep, that's just a signal that it's time for you to transition into something else. I have had a lot of transitions over these years. So 40 years of sales, starting out in vocational education and then moving into, and that was largely tech-based. And I was a school director and sales manager and all of that. So I've always been sales from my first job in high school was selling magazine subscriptions, cold calling over the telephone.
Wow.
That was my first job. And I outsold the veterans on that. And it was hilarious because it's something that comes easily to me because my ego is not attached to it. It's just something that I do.
Okay.
So then I went into education. From education, I went into corporate, what I call the dark side. I tease and tell people I got baptized twice after that. I really did. And so I was in that for a long time. And then, and that was software as service, that was hardware, software, and then I was also, again, a certified trainer because the easiest way for you to learn something is to teach it, to become that expert and to teach it. That is the easiest way to really get something down.
Okay.
And so if you're having trouble communicating a particular thought or whatever, take a little bitty class in it. And then that'll help to connect the dots that you're not quite getting. The other thing is in that short period of time, you'll understand if you want to do it or you don't want to do it. Okay. Then I went into general consulting. I co-founded an IT firm. I'm sitting here thinking when you're old, you've got so much to go through. And then
I got a list too.
Girl.
I know what you're talking about.
And so I tried a few things. I tried, coaching. Everybody wants to be a coach now. I'm not a coach.
Yes.
No, I'm not a coach. I decided I wanted the distinction of being a consultant as opposed to a coach. Because a lot of coaches don't have the background that I have.
Okay.
So what I do is, the way I approach it is as a manager and as a business owner and from that side of the table. So I've been on both sides of the table. So I'm not just telling you what they told me when I took a 24-month class and whatever, because I actually work with coaches and authors also sometimes.
Okay.
On why isn't that selling? Or, what I call, why didn't that work? Okay, I did everything the way that they said to do it. I said, yeah, but here's the transition. Here's the shift that needed to happen in order to make that work. Because they leave stuff out. Yeah. And so then I decided that sales consulting is really where I wanted to be. And as I got into sales consulting, I also realized that I still have to have, and we talked a little bit about this when we were in your virtual green room, we talked a little bit about give back stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so in addition to the things that I do, which are on the corporate side, I also have a public calendar of classes that I offer at my office space, which are what I call my give back classes, because these are trainings for people who are challenged in certain areas of sales.
Mm-hmm.
And they could be working. They don't have to be entrepreneurs or anything like that. A lot of them are working. But their company isn't big enough to bring in a consultant, or their company doesn't realize that this is the specific help that they need.
Yeah.
So I price it at a point that's affordable for them, and I cover specific things. So the last one I did was called Me, Myself, and I When You're a Sales Team of One.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
And I mean, I had a web developer, an app developer, I had an author, I had a coach, I had a virtual assistant, and I don't know, a couple other people. And we were really able to dig deep into what was happening and not happening in their business. And it was so funny because one of the women, as we got halfway through it, I had men and women, one of the women said, oh, so now I see why I'm not making many sales. And I was like, good.
That's where you wanted to get to. Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, one sale is going to give her 3 times what she spent on the class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, but far too often we have people who want to be the smartest person in the room, and they would rather go out and buy whatever it is that's important to them, you know, a piece of apparel or whatever, a hairdo, whatever, than take that same amount of money and put it into personal or professional development. And that's fine, because you know what? Those are not my people. And I'm okay with that. One of the things that was put on my heart years ago is that every problem is not mine to fix.
I'm so glad you said that, Donna. That's just touching my heart right now, because I mean, being in this, you know, like I said, as you know, I'm over the Women's Prosperity Network chapter, and women come, you know, any type of women can come and learn what we do every month. But then, like you said, some women, they don't want to invest in their personal growth. And before, I was like trying to get everybody like, no, you got to come because it's going to help you out. Please come, please, please, please. And then, like you just said, Donna, it's not for everybody. And no. I had to really take a back step and realize that. Yeah.
I have a hallelujah choir down here. It's my cat. Go someplace.
Hey, what's
go
the cat
someplace.
name?
Oh, he's oh God. Come here. You want to come here?
Oh, he wants to be on the interview. Oh, look at it.
There. Now you wanted to see what was going on? That's what's going on, okay? Mama's trying to make you some kibbles.
He's like, okay. Okay.
Yeah, because usually if I'm working or if I'm talking, he'll go away. But early morning, which is when we're doing this, people, is usually his bedtime. You know, I usually get up early and spend a little bit of time with him. So he's trying to be just like the little kid that wants to talk to you on the telephone.
Wants attention. But yeah, Donna, like I said, what you said a little earlier about you can't, you know, everybody's not going to be in that zone. So,
and if you try to do that, you will actually alienate the people you really want in the room.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, no, really, these are the people I'm trying to get away from. I need a different group. I'm trying to elevate my brand. I'm trying to learn something new. And the people who don't belong in the room will be the ones who are trying to command all the attention.
Yes, and you're giving them that attention. You should really be giving attention to people that really are there, that want it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't save the world.
No.
You just can't. You can't save the world.
Thank you for telling me that. I feel a little bit much better now. I needed your counseling today. I really did. You're speaking to me.
It's not you. Okay, it's not you. It's really not you. So, what you have to remember, and I'll say this, whether it's you're planning a party, you know how you do like jewelry parties or makeup parties or whatever, or whatever, you want the people who are going to bring value to that event.
Yes.
And I spoke once at a university, I forget which one, I think it was Roosevelt University, and they had promoted this thing, and they gave me this huge, I walked in this huge classroom that held like 150 people. And I'm like, wow. And they wound up with like 8 students showing up.
Wow.
And I told them point blank, I said, there could have been 150 people in this room right now, but you 8 are the ones that I was intending to touch. So let's get to work. Okay. And that just made the whole thing, again, not being attached.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If I had spent all of my time worrying about the fact that where are the other 84 or whatever people, I would not have been able to pour into the 8 that took the time and were what I call action-oriented people to give them what they needed.
Yes.
So take the ego out of it, because it's not about you.
Yes, you are so. It's funny. I had the same similar situation just in our August mastermind group with this Woman Prosperity. So usually the room that we have, we meet at the Holiday Inn in Arlington Heights, and it fits around 45 people in the room. I make sure they have tables in there because I want the women to kind of just talk amongst themselves, because we learn from each other. So I always set it up every month. 5 women just showed up that day, just 5. And one of the women that helps me out with the food and stuff, because we have food for them and everything, she's like, Barbara, there's only 5 people. I said, you know what? And these are the 5 people that need to be here today to get what we're going to talk about. Because she was just all, but I told my friends, I said, shh, these are the 5 people that's supposed to be, just like you said, Donna. And we sat there and had an awesome 2-hour mastermind about learning how to focus on your clients and what you need to do to, keep them and get new ones. And I'm telling you, each woman that was there, they were able to talk about their challenges and everything else. And we got more intimate with it because we just had a small group.
Smaller groups are really much better.
Yes.
And when I do my classes, I limit them to, I say 8. I might do 10. But because I'm also an adjunct at Columbia College sometimes in business and entrepreneurship. And they put like 25, 30 people in there. They slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a certain level that is just in it. And then there's a certain level that coasts just so they can check the box and say that they did it. Yeah. Now, here's what happens with the people who check the box. And then we're going to get back into your people. But when they just check the box, if it doesn't work for them, then it's your fault. And they taint your brand.
Wow.
Oh, I've been to that, and that didn't do a thing for me.
Ooh.
All right. Whereas the 5 women who showed up for your mastermind are just going to be your little walking billboards.
Yeah.
Okay. So smaller is better.
Yes. I mean, like you said, Listy, remember you said about earlier about being in the room and just not being the smartest one in the room. So I was the facilitator, basically, because I facilitate and we talk about the different concepts. But I've learned, I was getting so much, and that's what I love about our masterminds and what we learn from each other, because everybody has, the special something in them, like I always say. And I learned so much from other ladies, and they were like, wow, I can go back to my business, or I can go back home and now I know what to do. I said, that's what I'm talking about. I want you to walk out of here with some value, with some action items, so you can say to yourself, okay, this is what I need to do to move forward to get myself to, uplift myself or up-level myself. And they all walked out of there, Donna, like, they just had
They were totally pumped.
They were like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you want. And that takes me to, we talked about your motto or your mission statement. And my mission statement is real simple. The work that I do has to affect more than just the bottom line, because it's not the transaction, it's the testimony. And I'll say it one more time.
I was going to say say it again.
Has to affect more than just the bottom line, because it's not the transaction, it's the testimony. So it's not checking the box and saying, okay, I delivered this particular material. It's not checking the box and saying I did a seminar, a workshop, or whatever. It's what I get, those aha moments that people have where they say, this is what I came for. This is what I can use. This is what I'm not going to forget. This is what I needed to hear, or I know someone who needed to hear this.
Yes. Yes.
And that's it. So if it was just about the money, I'd just go and get a job and sit in an office and probably kill myself because I can't do the politics of that anymore. I decided a long time ago I'm just basically unemployable right now. So because my filters are very, very thin right now. So there comes a point in life where you understand what you do and what you don't, and give yourself permission to be that person. Yeah. So that's why I do what I do right now. So it's an in and an out. And then if I adopt you, then we stay in touch and all of that. But if I have to just see the same 15, 20, 50 people every single day, day after day, week after week, month after month, I cannot. I just cannot. So like
when I get old, I want to grow up to be just like you, Donna.
You're going to be something better than me. Don't even worry about it. God has a plan for everybody. And I always tell people, do not try to be a pale imitation of somebody else's idea of success.
Mm-hmm. That's okay, so right.
Do you? So right. Because we're all intended to meet and touch different lives.
Yes.
We all have a different purpose.
Yes.
So next week, I'm going to be in Boston, and I'm speaking at a conference called Inbound 2018. And as I was, so this is one of those things where I thought it was going to be too hard to get into it. You had to submit something. You had to go through a vetting process, all of that. I don't do that well. So what do? I have people who do that for me. And I said, here, somebody said I should apply for this. And they wrote it all up and submitted it and handled everything. And they were like, congratulations, you're in. And I'm like, good. So I just got a note from them. And I said, okay, I'm going to be doing some interactive stuff. And because that's how I always work. Mm-hmm. I have certain little exercises I like for people to see the shifts they can make, that kind of a thing. Otherwise, it feels like a lecture. Yeah. Well, they emailed me back and they said, no, it's going to have to be like a lecture mode because you already have 150 people in your room.
Wow.
I was like,
I'm so excited.
Okay. I could do that. Because last year, they actually had 21,000 people at that conference.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. And so, and these are all digital marketing people.
Okay.
And so the topic that I'm talking on for them is, I wrote a book a while back called You Lost Me at Hello, Actionable Principles That Move You Beyond Networking. And so my people submitted the title, and when they told me I got it, I was like, what am I talking about? They said, your subject is You Lost Me at Hello, sales tools for people who hate to sell.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. Same thing I always do. It's just a different title.
Mm-hmm.
And
it worked itself out that way.
Oh, yeah. Well, she knows me, and she knows, no, really, I'm sales.
Uh-huh.
I am sales. But there are so many things in sales that people don't understand. My next workshop is going to be pick up the phone. The fortune is in the follow-up. Mm. And among the things that I am going to talk to people about is your voice, your sales, your phone voice.
Okay.
Because some people have voices that are like fingernails on a chalkboard. Extremely nasal. Sorry for those of you who have that. A little bit high-pitched and whiny and kind of, no, you can't. So, and for the ladies who think that's cute, I will tell you, I can't tell you how many times guys have told me that they don't like baby talk and they don't like the high-pitched voices.
Oh, wow.
So you have to really overcompensate in other areas of your life.
Yeah.
To deal with that. So when you pick up the phone, if you do something as simple as dropping your voice 1 octave down,
wow,
that has a huge
impact.
And just think about it, when you're busy and you're trying to listen to a voicemail or something, if you ever pick up something, you get feedback or white noise,
Yes,
and it
yes.
seems to just cut through everything else. Yeah, if you wonder why people don't answer your phone calls, that might be why. They respond to your emails, but they don't want to talk to you.
There.
Drop your voice an octave.
Just drop it an octave.
Just okay. So this is pretty much my regular voice, but when I am on the phone, I drop it. I drop it one octave lower.
Mm.
Okay, now hear the difference. It's a little bit more intentional. It's a little bit more professional. The phrasing is a little bit tighter. Okay, and then I can just go back to being who I am, which is just about an octave higher. Okay, but when you're leaving a message, you want to drop your voice a little bit lower so that they listen intently to what you're saying and they get your message.
Wow. I didn't really see how the smallest little things can mean, like you said, gives a great impact, and you never understand. Because I know a lot of people, they look at the phone like it's so heavy. Like, sometimes, and in fact, I do sometimes too. I'm like, because in their mind, in your mind, you're saying to yourself, okay, well, if I make this call and ask this person, whatever you're selling or whatever you're trying to, get them to do, you're going to hear the no, you're going to hear like, nah, I don't want to listen to you, or hang up. And that's what I think everybody's head. So they want to pick up that phone. They don't want to do that call.
I worked for a company once where we had to make 100 outbound phone calls a day, and they monitored it. Mm-hmm. Okay. And there's only so many people you can call. So you were going to call some people twice in the week, maybe 3 times in the week, depending on how large your list was. Okay. And you have to remember that nobody likes to be sold. Do you like to pick up the phone and have somebody say, hey, I want to sell you? No.
I can't stand that.
Of course you do. So why do you want to pick up the phone and do that to someone? Okay. It's all in the relationships. It's all in the conversation. And so I used to make my clients laugh because I would say, hey, it's Donna. What can I do to make you look good today? Hey, it's Donna. How's your day going? Who do I need to beat up? We would always start it out with a laugh because I am a little bit odd. So I'd always start out with that little bit of laugh. And I'm like, okay, so what I'm calling about is to find out when you've got 10 minutes for us to have a conversation.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
And that's all you even need to do with the services that you're doing, especially if you're cold calling. Don't cold call and go directly in the pitch because nobody likes to be sold.
No.
So.
Because it's like you said, Donna, if you don't like it, why do you think somebody else is going to like what you don't, people.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like that. If you feel that you're a fairly intelligent, educated person and you're picking up that phone and you don't like that type of an approach, why would you use it? Is that you saying, okay, but I'm the smartest person in the room and these people are dumber than I am, so I can just do it?
Oops. See, now that's always gonna be in my head now. You embedded it in my head. I love it.
And this is the way I train. So the me that you're seeing here is the me that you would get in the classroom.
Awesome.
I don't train.
You need to contact Donna.
I'm just saying. Go to www.donnasmithbellinger.com. And if you go to www.donnasmithbellinger.com, all the way on the right hand of the toolbar, there are 2 important words for you: free and gift. And if you go ahead and click on that, you are going to get my tips on how to turn cards into cash.
Wow.
Because everybody has stacks and envelopes and rubber banded things and all of that. Nobody even reads books anymore, so they're not even bookmarks. We used to use them for bookmarks. Well, now you can't even use them for that.
No.
And I talked to you about some basic principles that you need to put into place in order to turn those little pieces of cardboard into cash.
Wow. So, okay, everybody, beat me to it because I'm going to get over there and type in her website. But before we get, because I wait before we end, because this always happens to me in these interviews, that I love the conversation so much that the time goes by. But I want to ask you, Donna, this is really something that is important for our viewers from you, is what type of legacy, like what do you want to leave for people out there in the world from you?
Oh, that's easy. My whole purpose is real quick backstory. I started out as a homeless teenage mom. So I grew up in a suburban family, upper middle class, if you want to call it that, back in the day. Got pregnant my senior year. When my son was 6 weeks old, they threw me out of the house. I had $90, a 6-week-old baby, my bedroom furniture, and the blessing that no good man will ever want you, and you'll be working the streets in 6 months. So from that, I learned how to bootstrap myself into business and have conversations and work in places where I was unexpected, not particularly welcome, and not particularly valued. Okay. I actually went into a meeting once in Oklahoma where a guy looked me up and down and said, "Ooh, you sure must know what you're doing because they did not hire you for your looks." So
Wow.
My goal in everything that I'm doing, you can tell from the classes and the things that I'm doing now, is this transition that I'm in right now, is to help shorten other people's learning curves. And that's why I want them to be able to speak into their value. As I told my daughter, I should brand a t-shirt that says, "Don't let this happen to you, University, PhD."
Yes. Because you should do that, Donna.
No, because as somebody told me, that makes you look like a victim. So I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
But they get it. When I talk about it, they get it. So I don't want you to go through what I went through.
Yes.
I want you to have a shorter path to your success. And I want the world to benefit from the brilliance that you were born with so that we can all reap that harvest.
You're on the same page as me. That's why I feel like we connect. I believe we connect.
Yay.
Yes. So, okay, you know what? I'm going to throw one more question. I know time, but I have to throw in this other one more question before we depart, which is I'm crying about already. What is I always ask everybody there, what's your special powers? Now, you said a lot. So, but what is like your main, like what you would call your special powers?
It's something that I'm working on training people in. And it's something that I finally found a way to articulate. And it took me a while to figure out a way to put it. I have the ability to communicate across gender, generation, and geography, which means that you can pretty much drop me anywhere and I'll start making contacts. You can drop me in any room and I'll be able to spotlight the people who get me from the people who don't get me. And that's all in the listening. Now, this is one of those things that I wish I had known in my 30s, and there are a lot of things I wish I had known way back.
I know, I'm like,
but that's why I want to be able to teach it to people. But that's my superpower, I think, being able to speak into the listening of the people that I address.
That's awesome. That is totally awesome. Well, Donna, you know what? You have to tell us the beautiful flowers next to you. Where did you get the flowers?
Oh, these came from my husband. And I know you asked me, you said, "Is it your birthday?" I said, "No." "Or anniversary?" "No." "He just brought you flowers." Yes, he did, because he's a brilliant man.
Yes.
And he loves me. And I love him too. He's sitting on the other side of the room right now. Hi, hubby bear.
He's probably saying, "Who you talking to at 6 something in the morning?"
No, he's never surprised. I'm always up doing it. He knows me, so I do stuff early, and that's it.
Well, I love that. First of all, that's awesome. Just because I love the just because flowers, because that is, you should never have a reason. Just do it. Whenever you feel the urge to give your lovely wife some flowers. It just should just happen naturally. So,
or significant other. I get flowers from my daughter sometimes. I love
see?
flowers.
You love flowers. That's
And,
good to know. Let me put that down. Donna loves flowers. I'm gonna make sure.
And Donna also loves scarves.
Yeah, I
We were
see.
talking about this is a gift. I'm usually wearing
That's pretty.
some type of scarf because you can take a real pretty scarf and put it on your Kmart top. So, and it makes it look so elegant.
You know, I laugh because you remind me so much of me, so that I would say, it's like
pretty much.
We're in this connection thing.
This isn't quite. This is a little bit more than a Kmart top, but not by a whole lot. But
you look fabulous. You look fabulous. So Donna, again. Oh, before we end, again, just repeat because I want to make sure everybody has your website, and I'm also going to post it under this interview so they can connect with you. So tell them again your website.
Terrific. Okay, so www.donnasmithbellinger.com. And you got to do that because, not because of the free gift, but you've got to brand your particular name or your presence.
Yes.
Okay, you need to own any real estate that's associated with your name because as you grow, Barbara, people are going to start to try and cabbage onto your reputation. So you need to go ahead and do it. Even if you don't use it right away, you just need to own it.
Thank you.
And so go to www.donnasmithbellinger.com, and then I want you to go all the way over to the far right and click on free gift, and you'll get my audio on how to turn cards into cash. And as you tiptoe through the website, you'll find out a little bit more about me and what I do. Yes, as you tiptoe through the website. And you can also find out where I'll be speaking. Oh. So some things I do for free. Oh, I'm in Chicago. So when is this going to air? Do you know?
Today.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah. So on September the 8th, I will be at Truman College with the City of Chicago Small Business on the Road. And I am handling their networking hour, which is, I don't know, probably somewhere between 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. So I do that for a friend of mine, and it's always a lot of fun. You'll get to see me in action, and you'll also pick up some tips that you'll be able to use at the next event that you go to.
Also, so you said Truman College, is that free or is it a fee?
Yes, free. It's free.
Oh, okay. You said like from 11 to 1, somewhere around there?
The whole event starts at 10 a.m. and runs until 2. Okay. They will also be doing free headshots. Yeah, and every time I do it, I always get the free headshot because you can never have enough professional headshots.
I agree.
People are really tired of seeing selfies, and we don't want you to do video from behind the wheel of your car, or God help us, from the bathroom, or any of those other things that people do. No. Mm-hmm. And here's the premise, my darlings. If you don't care enough about your brand to invest in you, why should I spend money with you?
Wow. Bingo. That was a good way to end this. I love that. Okay, people. Well, Donna, thank you so much. You just don't know that I appreciate you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
I just, like I tell people, I just want the people to see the wonderful diamonds. I call Donna Queen Diamond. She's my Queen Diamond.
You know, I was born in April, so I am a diamond.
She's a diamond. She's a diamond. And just to let everybody else know, you know what I say, you have a diamond in you. Just let it shine for others. You have that special gift that people are waiting for to get from you. And just it's opposite too, because you're waiting for that diamond to come in your life. So you have to let that diamond shine because it is special and it's something put in you that you need to shine for others. So next time I'll see everybody at our next Diamond Spotlight interview. And again, please go to Donna's website. Awesome lady. I'm so glad I met her and we finally connected. And go to her website and just see her diamond shine. Thanks again, Donna. I appreciate you.
Thank you.